And we're back with another video. Yes, we're back. I do apologize for my lack of consistency recently. If you did watch my last video, then you'll know that I had an issue with my camera, but now I've got it sorted, so we're back. Yeah, we're back doing what I like to do, which is talking to you guys. But yeah, so as you know, it's the end of 2024. Well, it's currently December the 30th. Yeah, so 2 days left, 1 day left actually, yeah. So I'm just gonna share with you guys 3 important things that I learned this year in 2024. These 3 things have been the most important, I would say. There are definitely more things that I learned this year, so maybe I'll do a part 2, but for now I just want to do these main 3 pointers and share them to you. Maybe there's someone out there that may need this information, or you guys may just be interested in what I learned. So yeah, let's get into it, I guess. All right, lesson number 1: having faith in yourself and having faith in God. Yeah, this year has really taught me the importance of having faith, and it showed me how not having faith in yourself and in God can be detrimental towards you. Really showed me. For example, I don't know if you remember, but around, what was this, June, July, I dropped a video talking about how I lost faith in myself, right? So, lack of confidence in myself, low self-esteem, all of that, etc. Like I just felt very down. I felt very low, and that's because I had no faith in myself. My faith in God was low as well. I wasn't really tapped into my faith, into Christianity, right? I wasn't reading the Bible. I wasn't going to church. I wasn't doing anything revolving around God, and all of that as a collective just messed me up, And then it came to a point where I had to realize, Jason, what you're doing isn't getting you nowhere. Having lack of faith in yourself is not taking you nowhere. Because think about it, if you have no faith in yourself, what are you going to achieve? You won't feel confident in doing anything that you say you want to do when it comes to achieving your goals or just setting a new high for yourself. You won't feel confident in doing anything if you have no faith in yourself. And then secondly, if you have no faith in God, your patience will be 0. You won't be consistent because you feel like you're not going nowhere. Because if you think about it, for all the Christians out there, 2 Corinthians 5 verse 7, for we walk by faith, not by sight. And if you have no faith in God, you won't be going anywhere because you're just going to see everything with your own eyes. And that's what I was doing. I wasn't putting my trust into the Lord, And I realized how all of that was just taking me to a negative place. And then eventually I flipped the switch where I started picking up my Bible. So towards the end of July, I started picking up my Bible, reading it more. I was reading James, I was reading Job. Then I started going back to church. I was a bit on and off with church, but I was still consistent with praying, reading my Bible. And then from there, I noticed it started to turn around. Everything started to turn around, which is a good thing, right? My faith in myself started to increase. My faith in the Lord, my relationship with Him started to get better. And then from there up until now, yeah, there's been a few dips. However, in the grand scheme of things, my faith in the Lord has been getting better. And now I know what not to do. Now I know what not to do in 2025. There's no way I could show lack of faith again because now I know where it will take me. With the things that I want to achieve in my life, I know I can't do it by myself. Like, yeah, there's only so far I can go, but when there's days or times when it's difficult and I don't have faith that it will happen, that's when you need to have God on your side. Because He sees the plan, He sees what's going to happen, He knows the end goal, right? But we don't, or I don't. So there's only so far I can take myself mentally to the point where I want to give up. But if I continue to put my trust in the Lord, my faith in the Lord, then I will continue to go. Even if I don't see it happening, I will trust that it will happen eventually. So now I know what to do. I'm not going to say it's going to be easy, because it's easy to say, I'm going to have faith all the time. However, I know that that's not possible. Well, it's not that it's not possible. I know it's going to be hard to be faithful all the time. But I'm 100% giving it a go. 100%. I even watched a YouTube video recently, and it was talking about how your current circumstances shouldn't be tied to your faith. And that made so much sense. Whether you're going through a rut, you're in a negative position, life isn't going well for you, that shouldn't dictate your faith towards God. Whether you're, making money, whether your business is thriving, whether everything in life is going perfect for you, your faith in God shouldn't change either. It should stay the same. You should be faithful at all times. So when you're in a bad position, you're still praying, you're still trusting in the Lord. And then when you're in a high position, you're still praying, you're still trusting in the Lord. Because what a lot of people tend to do is, when life gets good for them, that's when pride could come in. Or, the self-reliance. I could do this by myself. I did it by myself. No one else done it for me. The Lord didn't do it for me. And then when shit hits the fan, apologies for my French, that's when everyone wants to turn back to the Lord and say, God help me, do this, do that. And that's what it means to not have your faith tied to your circumstances. And that's a mistake that I made multiple times this year. And I want to make sure that I don't repeat the same mistake. I want to make sure that I don't repeat it. Moving on to lesson number 2, learning how to become a man. Yeah, this one is also challenging. And I'm not saying I've just learned this year. Like, this has been an ongoing process, right? However, there's stuff that I've learned this year. So next year, I'm also going to talk about learning how to become a man, because there'll be more stuff that I learned, right? So as someone who didn't grow up with a father, there's so many things that you have to learn. Because I grew up around my mom and my sister, right? And they're women, they can't teach me everything. There's only so much they can teach me. So it's like you have to go out and seek information, especially if you want to become a great man. If you want to be average, then, keep living an average life. But if you want to become a man of value, a man that has a purpose, you have to learn things. I think personally, the amount of competence that you have kind of determines the value of man you are. And I'm not saying you have to be rich. See, competence isn't only about money. It's everything. Your strength, your ability to provide, your ability to protect, your ability to have knowledge, to teach others. Like, it's a collection of things, right? It's not just one aspect. And this year has really taught me that. And I hope next year that there's more that I can learn about just being competent as a guy, because there's just so much pressure on being a man. Like, you have to provide, you have to, even if it's, making sure that your family is right, or let's say you're with a woman, making sure that she's right, or you have children, making sure that they're right as well. And then to make sure that you're right, you have to rely on yourself. Like, everyone could turn to you as a guy, but you can't turn to no one else, if that makes sense. So there's just so much to learn about becoming competent. There's been situations where I've been able to educate someone and they'll be like, "Right, like, Jason, you're really smart. You know what you're talking about." So they now trust in what I say. So let's say they have a problem and they need a solution, they'll come to me for help because they could trust that I can help them, right? Because I've shown that competence. Even in the gym, someone will come to me for help and be like, can you help me? Can you show me doing this? Or how did you be able to do that? Let's say I'm doing weighted pull-ups. How were you able to do that? Because they've seen my strength. They said in their head, "Oh wow, this guy's really strong. Like, he's putting the work." So let me go and ask him how to do the same thing. Like, you just want people to look at you as someone who knows how to do stuff, who knows how to solve solutions. And again, I'm still trying to become even more competent than I currently am. But it's just so important for a guy. But yeah, you just want to become that problem solver. You want to be that person that people look to when they want to attain something, whether that's a nice physique, or a certain lifestyle, or advice. You just want to be that guy, right? And then the next 2 points, I think I'm going to tie it into lesson number 2. So the first point would be pushing through adversity, doing hard things. Pause again. This year, I've really challenged myself to do hard things, whether that's me recording in central London by myself, so setting up my camera like this and speaking to the camera in central London. I've done it in places like Liverpool Street, I've done it in Holborn, I was doing it in Barbican, in the city of London. These things are so, I don't want to say taboo, but it's just not normal. Oh, no, normal is the wrong word. It's not common, I'd say. Maybe now it's started to become more common. However, you don't walk around the streets of London and see people just recording themselves talking by themselves. However, I was doing that, and I've been making content for years, but recording in public, except in the gym, so recording in public outside of the gym could be a bit challenging for me. However, this year, I've done it multiple times that I could go outside right now and record. It's not as difficult as I thought it would be, because I'd done the hard things and now it's made those things easier for me. That's just one example. This year I've been running a lot more than I usually have in previous years. I've been going on runs that I didn't want to go on. Like on the weekend, or even today, this morning, I done a 3K. I didn't want to do it. Came out of bed and I said, cool, let me just go straight for this run. And I done it. And then even on the run, it's hard. You want to stop, but you don't. That's the way of you building that mental resilience. There's so many stuff that I want to achieve in 2025. And I know it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. I'm not saying I'm excited for it, but I'm happy that it's going to happen, because I know it's really going to test me. It's going to test my faith, linking it back to lesson number 1. Make sure you're doing the hard things in life. Whatever challenges you, so maybe it's public speaking, even filming a YouTube video like this, or going to the gym for the first time, or going, I don't know, whatever it is in life that challenges you. It could be anything, whether it's small or big, it could be anything. Make sure you just do it. In 2025, for the next year, like, challenge yourself to do the tough things. Whatever fear you have, challenge yourself to overcome that fear. Because the more and more time you spend avoiding that fear, that challenge, that problem, how are you going to improve? How are you going to become better? You don't grow while sitting in comfort. So let's say this chair is a comfort chair. I will not grow unless I stand up. Oh, now you can't see me. Unless I stand up from this chair of comfort, this zone of comfort, I won't grow. I hope that makes sense. But yeah, that's point number 1. The second point is learning to control your lust. Oh gosh. Whether that's you watching porn, masturbating, or having sex all the time, or just looking at women in a lustful perspective, right? You have to learn to control it. You have to learn to control your lust. And I'm not saying it as if I've, completely controlled mine. I still struggle, but that's why you have to lean to God to help you, because I can't fight lust by myself. You're not even supposed to fight it. You're supposed to flee. Like, I can't do this by myself. I need God to help me. Which takes me back to lesson number 1. Having faith in God, right? You see how it ties into everything? It ties into everything. But yeah, as a guy, you need to control your lust, because our seed is so powerful. It literally brings new life into the world. It's so powerful. If you don't know about this, let me put my phone on silent, 1 second. Like, if you haven't heard of a phrase called sexual transmutation, I recommend you to search it up, look it up. Really beneficial. Like, it helps us transferring that sexual energy that you have into your purpose. Let's say one day you're feeling very horny. Instead of going on to corn, do 50 push-ups, and you'll notice that the energy kind of goes away, or it's been directed into physical activity. Just small things like that. But learn to control your lust as a guy. It's so important. It will save you a lot of time as well, because by you not controlling your lust, you're just going to end up chasing so many women, going on numerous dating apps, or going to the club, just going to female populated areas and just trying to find someone to have sex with, or just wasting your time on Pornhub, just fapping away, where you could have directed all of that time and energy into fulfillment, doing physical activity, or working towards a business, just working on a better future, right? So guys, control your lust, please. Lesson number 3, you cannot reason with women. And let me just make it clear, I'm not saying all women, because I know some of you will be like, oh, you can reason with me, etc. Cool, that's cool. But yeah, I learned this year, because I've had numerous conversations with women, you cannot reason with them. Like, you could break it down. You could go 1, 2, 3, they will go 7, 8, 9. Or A, B, C, they'll go X, Y, Z. and I don't know how. Like, how can you skip the entire process? I've literally broken it down for you, yet you still don't understand. But it's funny, I'm not saying this as a way of me being angry. I'm just literally just saying it because it's something that I came across this year. Yeah, I'm just saying this as a funny experience. I'm not, bashing women or anything. I'm just saying, yeah, this year really showed me that you cannot reason with them. If you're talking to someone, so whether they're man or woman, and they can't be reasoned with, as in, let's say they have a narrow mind, then just end the conversation there. You should not be wasting time talking to people that are narrow-minded. Like, if someone's being foolish, you should not entertain their folly. Is it folly? Yeah. Don't entertain their foolishness, because that just makes you a fool. But yeah, 3 things that I learned this year. Oh gosh, it's getting really bright. The sun's coming up. Let me turn on the exposure. And now it's gone. But yeah, 3 things that I learned this year. I definitely learned more things. I may drop a part 2 to this, maybe. We'll see. It will come out in the following year. So sometime next week or the week after. Yeah. So I'll just recap. Lesson number 1, have faith in yourself and have faith in God. Lesson number 2, become competent as a man. And then lesson number 3, you cannot reason with women. That's a funny one. But yeah, there's definitely more things that I learned, which I will be sharing actually, now that I think about it. But yeah, this year especially, guys. So by this year, I mean 2025. There's a lot that I want to do with this YouTube channel. We need to get 1,000 subscribers for sure, without a doubt. If you guys are new here, my name is Jason. I'd appreciate it. Subscribe, follow my social media platforms, all linked down below. Also, have a happy new year and make sure you have a good start to your year. Do not start the year being sluggish. All right, make sure you have a good start to the year. You want to set the tone for the new year and set it correctly. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Bow. Oh gosh.